Hey, what's up you guys? Today I am doing a book unhaul which I have never done before. I actually filmed an unhaul once before with a lot of these same books and then just never uploaded it because I never actually unhauled any, and I also just didn't like the video that much. So I thought now I'm just like overflowing with books that I don't have space for, and a lot of these are duplicates and other ones are just ones that I don't even know why I have them. Like, I don't plan on reading them, but we'll go through them all and talk about it all. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, all that stuff. I'm also in a different setting. I'm just sitting with this wall behind me now because I wanted to sit on the floor because I have like 6 different piles of books around me, so I thought it'd be easier. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and let's get started. Okay, so this first pile of books are ones that I just don't plan on ever reading. So first of all, we have Fangirl and Eleanor and Park, both by Rainbow Rowell, which are both like YA contemporary books. And I only picked these up because I think they were both from a library sale. And obviously I recognise the name Rainbow Rowell as popular on BookTube. And then I've just never been interested to actually pick them up. They just sit in my cupboard. And also I know there's like some controversy around them, so I don't know. And they just don't interest me, to be honest. Like, I couldn't even tell you what they're about. I think they're like romances, like contemporary romance. I literally just bought them because I recognised their name and it was a library sale, so they were both like 50p probably. And I'm just never going to read them, to be honest. Next, I have one I actually have read, and this is Alice by Christina. This is the only book I've ever gave 1 star on BookTube. I hated this book. I love Alice in Wonderland. It's my favourite like children's book, my favourite children's classic. It's very nostalgic to me, and then this is like a dark retelling, which I thought, that sounds pretty cool, and then I just hated it completely. It had nothing to do with Alice in Wonderland other than the characters' names, and there was so much like sexual assault and stuff that I just didn't think was handled well at all, and I just did not enjoy it. So there's no point in me holding on to it. The only reason I have is because I paid full price for this from Waterstones, which I never do. I always buy everything secondhand if I can, for the most part, and I bought this full price. It was back when I really first started BookTube, and I regret it. So because I paid full price, I've like felt bad giving it away. However, it's time to just let it go. This next one is also from a library sale, and this is The Well of Ascension by Sanderson. This is book 2 in the Mistborn series, and this book is falling apart for a start. Like, it is wrecked, which is probably why the library were withdrawing it. Like, the cover is wrecked, to be honest. And I do want to reread the Mistborn series at some point. However, this is just book 2, and I know for a fact I'm probably going to end up having to buy book 1 and 3 separately if I ever do want to actually own them. And I don't want to have like a brand new book 1, book 2, 3, and then like a wrecked book 2. So I'm just going to unhaul it for now, and in the future I probably will buy this series like brand new at some point, but for now it's just wasting space. It's book 2 in a series which I don't own the others for, so there's no point in holding on to it. The last one in this pile is The Hunger Games Companion. I bought this back in like 2011 or whatever. Let's see what year it is, because I was like a huge Hunger Games stan. Yeah, 2011. And I'm never going to read this now. It's just like facts about like the real world, like things from the Hunger Games in the real world. So if I open on a random page, they're like survival instincts and strategies. It's just like talking about real life stuff that connects to the Hunger Games book, but I am never going to read that now, let's be honest. So I'm sure if I put it at a charity shop, someone will find it and someone will like it. The next few books are from my childhood as well, so like a long time ago. And this one's actually by the same author as The Hunger Games Companion, and that is The Truth Behind a Series of Unfortunate Events. And it's like the same thing. It is like real life facts about the series of unfortunate events, and I'm never going to read that at this age. And this one is not by the same author, but it's the same thing. So it is The Magical Worlds of Harry Potter, and it's all about like real life myths and stuff of the creatures in the Harry Potter books, which does sound interesting. However, I'm never going to read this. I've owned this book since maybe 2004, to be honest. Like, I've owned this for a long time. This was published in 2003, so I've had this probably since like 2004, 2005, and I'm never going to read it. So I don't need to keep it. And these next two, I don't know where these came from, but I've had these since I was like very young, and it's 2 like Doctor Who books, which again, I am just never going to read these. And I'm sure if I put them in a charity shop, some Doctor Who fan will find them and like them. I don't think I ever read these as a child either. Like, they've just been sitting in my cupboard since like forever, probably like, again 2005 or something like that. So there's no point of these. No, okay, this came out in 2007, so I probably got these about 2008 then. I don't know. I have no concept of time, but never gonna read them, so no point keeping them, to be honest. Okay, this next book is all duplicates. So I have the 3 books in the Maze Runner series. I got these from a charity shop, again, like a couple months ago, because I had this whole plan where I was gonna like sell all these books online and get rich, like selling used books, and then I just can't be bothered trying to sell these, to be honest. They're so heavy that the price that I pay for postage and that, it just wouldn't be worth trying to sell. So I am just going to get rid of them because I already have a set of my own. Then I have the first 3 books in the Harry Potter series, and this one again was from my plan where I was like, oh, I can like sell this, because I literally got this, all of these, for like 20 pence each. Same for this, and then I'm not going to do that, so no point keeping it. And these 2 are actually my own from like forever ago, but I do not like these covers. I actually made a video like back when I started BookTube roasting Harry Potter covers, and I'm pretty sure I roasted these even though I own them. They're just ugly and boring, and I like the original illustrated covers, so I already have this and like another copy, but these 2 I will probably buy second hand, obviously. The original illustrated covers and own them that way, because I just hate those covers, and I'm also not going to even reread Harry Potter anytime recently or soon, so there's no point in keeping them, is there? Let's be real. Also, these 2 again, I have this other copy of Catching Fire, which this is a movie cover and I actually really like it. I really like the art on this, but I own a matching set of the 3, and I only bought this one because when I was coming home from Ibiza like 3 years ago, I wanted something to read on the plane, and this was like the only English book that I recognised the title of, because this was like before a BookTube or anything. Like I hadn't read any books between like 2012 and like 2019, so this was like the only book that I recognised the title of, and I was like, I'll reread that. And then I have this movie cover of Divergent, and again I have a set of 3 matching covers, so there is no point keeping this version because it's just taking up space. Moving on to some classics now. First of all, I have these editions of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, both by Mark Twain, and I have this really nice edition which is like a bind up of a lot of his books that my parents got me for Christmas a few years ago, and this is much nicer. Obviously I really love like the sprayed edges and stuff. I actually have a Bronte sisters book which matches this one, and I just think they're really nice collector's editions. I probably won't ever physically read this, same for the Bronte sisters one, but they're just nicer to keep, and I'm never going to reread these anyway. I actually haven't read Huckleberry Finn yet, so I need to read this before I unhaul it. But yeah, these are just like little tiny copies that I don't need because I have that one. Same for, well, not really same, but this copy of Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, I haven't actually read yet. I have read Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion, but I haven't read this yet. But my parents got me this really nice edition of Sense and Sensibility, which is much nicer, so obviously I'm going to keep this one, and I don't need this one. I honestly might unhaul Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion as well, because they're also in this edition, but for now I've decided not to, but we'll see. That might get on a haul, because to be honest, I don't even enjoy them, so is there any point keeping them? Especially when the edition isn't even nice. Like, I don't really need it, do I? But for now I'm keeping it on the shelf, but it's possibly an unhaul. This copy of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte I do not need, because I just recently found in a charity shop for 20 pence this Penguin Black Spine edition, which is obviously much nicer, and it's actually really good condition, which is not what I can say for this next one. So I have this copy of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and I recently found this copy of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. However, the spine on this is pretty wrecked, but to be honest, this one also isn't in great condition, and I prefer these editions. They're much nicer, they're much newer. The inside is nice, so the spine, it doesn't really bother me that much. A lot of my Penguin Black Spine editions, the spine is pretty wrecked because they're all second hand, and for some reason the spines on these just do not last long at all. I'll actually put in a picture of my shelf here of them, and you can see like the spines just get pretty wrecked. So both of these, again, they're duplicates, so I don't need these. To be honest, I actually quite like these Wordsworth editions, but I don't know, I would rather keep the Penguin version, and I eventually want to collect all of the Bronte books in this edition because I have such a weird mismatch of Bronte sister books. They're all like, some of them are in this edition, some of them are in this edition, some of them are in this edition. So I want like just cohesive, nice Bronte shelf, and I'd rather do it with the penguin black spines. My last haul, not haul, this is the opposite of a haul. I have these books. So again, in this edition, I have Rob Roy, which I read and hated. I gave it 2 stars. It probably deserves 1 star, but it didn't actually offend me the way that Alice did, so I gave it 2 stars. It's probably 1 star though, let's be honest. I have The Last of the Mohicans by James Cooper, and I'm not interested in this, to be honest. It's about people, like the colonizers going to America, I'm pretty sure, and I just know for a fact it's going to have pretty bad representation of Native Americans and stuff like that, so I'm just not interested. I have Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope. I know nothing about this other than it's about like a religious thing, so I don't really care, so I can probably get rid of it. And then finally I have these 2, which I actually am going to read before Unhaul, but I have Le Grand Menuns, I don't know how you say that, it's French, and it's like really small, but this edition is just not nice, so I'm going to read this and then unhaul it. And then same for this Mayor of Castleberry by Thomas Hardy. It's absolutely wrecked. I got it from a charity shop again for like 20p, like look at the pages. So I'm going to read this and then unhaul it because I don't want to keep these, to be honest. Like, I'm going to read them, but I don't want to keep them. So those are all the books that I'm going to unhaul. I don't know how to do this thumbnail, by the way. I have 27 books to unhaul, which is quite good actually. That's going to free up a lot of space. 25 if you include the other 2 Jane Austens, which I'm on the fence about. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I have no idea how to. I'm going to try and get like all 23 books in the thumbnail somehow. Wish me luck. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like I just said, please like, please subscribe, let me know your thoughts on all these books down below. A lot of them obviously I'm just unhauling because I have duplicates, but if there's some that you think I should keep, such as like the few classics, if they actually are good, then let me know. Like, I don't even know what they're called. The Barchester Tower and The Last of the Mohicans, etc. If you actually think they're good, let me know. Maybe I'll read them. Probably not. And I will see you in my next video.